Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. And today we're starting off the show with a lot of excitement because my cat Stitches has decided now's the time to go chasing after her tail. She was sitting there just looking around, hadn't had a chance to actually hit record yet when, that pesky tail decided to start being an annoyance to her, so she decided she had to start chasing her tail. And now, of course, she's sitting pretty again. So, my name is Mandy, and this is Stitches. She's been such a fun companion to have around. So, welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm sorry. My video last week, well, I guess it's been 2 weeks ago now, she just had to be part of the show apparently, and she was in and out, and I do apologize that it has been a little bit of a distraction. Now my eyes watering. What are we gonna do? She just has to be right in the center of attention apparently. So all right, so today is Saturday, November 27th, 2021, and here in Michigan we are getting a little bit of snow. Squirrel apparently, I think. Goodness, this is going to be a fun one. So it is, yes, we are getting a little bit of snow today. Hopefully not a whole lot that sticks. We've had a little bit of a somewhat warm week, so if we do get much, I don't see it sticking around very long. So this week was Thanksgiving for those in the U.S. For those that celebrated, I hope you had a great day. I had a wonderful day spending it with family. We ate lots of food and lots of laughter. My sister and her husband has gotten quite a collection of pinball games, and like the full pinball machines, and so they pretty much have an arcade in their house. And so we were playing that and just having a good old time. So I know it's been 2 weeks since I filmed, and honestly, I don't know that I really have a whole lot to share. This past week has been a bit of a stressful week for me personally with my health. Some things came up with that I was not anticipating fully, I guess. So definitely had some stressful time about that. I'll wait until the end to really share about that in case for those people that aren't interested and are just here for the cross stitch. Yeah. So there was actually some days that I really didn't stitch as a result of said stress, and so I probably could have more to share since it's been 2 weeks, but hey, it is what it is, right? I do have a piece that I have been doing the challenge 25/7, where you spend 25 minutes or stitches a day stitching on a piece, and I lost steam on that one. I knew that I wasn't really planning on sticking with, well, I knew for a fact I wasn't going to stick with it until the piece is finished, but I at least wanted to see the month out, and I think I made it to 18 or 19 days, and here and there where I would, miss a day, but then I'd go and catch up, and then after like day 18 or 19, I just decided to stop. I saw some really great progress. I'm very happy with what I got completed. I just didn't see, I just haven't been sticking with it this month, and I'm not going to worry about playing catch up on that. I do have a new piece that I'm planning on starting that I may just kind of start. I kind of like the idea of starting that on the first, so that it's easy to count my days of how many in a row I can get. But we'll see how, if I decide to start with that. We'll see. So today I've got 5 works in progresses to share, and then a little bit of plans, tiny bit of plans. We'll see. So the first piece that I am going to share, I actually was just working on it today. It is out of the July 2014 Just Cross Stitch, not Just Cross Stitch, Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. And I love this magazine, and I'm so bummed that they stopped publishing. I still miss it, even though it's been a number of years. So the piece that I'm working on is A Year of Celebrations. Right? A Year of Celebrations from Kathy Haberman. And there goes stitches again. And I have been working on the June piece. I know I showed it as a new start a couple videos ago, I think it is. These are small. They really don't take a whole lot of time, but I haven't stuck with it fully to, you know, see it through, I guess. But here's where we're at. This is stitched on a piece of 14 count oatmeal Aida. Not called for colors, it calls for fancy flosses, and I don't have all of those, and so I just went through my DMC and just literally you know, selected color by color, and I did not do any kind of straight conversion of, you know, Googling what is this week's dye works, what is this coloring, what is it, Classic Colorworks or whatever. I don't even know what all they're called for. I did not do a straight conversion whatsoever. It is literally just, you know, picking colors out of my DMC that I thought would look good for it. So all I have left to do is there's going to be the giant sandcastle right here, and then another one of these corner doodads down in here. So probably another good stitching session. We'll get that done. That sandcastle is going to be quite a bit of work, and there's going to be some back stitching. These are flags that will have some lines. The pinwheels will have some lines, but I'll do those last. So that is where we're at on that piece. Sorry for the noise. So the next piece that I have been working on, I'm just going to share. I'm not going to do editing. Pretty much my phone and my iPad both pretty much like max out on the storage space, and so I think it's just easier. I'm using my phone now to record, so it's just going to be easier to show on my iPad pictures of what we're working on. So this is called Black Cats and Spooky Bats from Park Hopper Bart. This was sold in a package deal. It was a tote and floss from Evertote, and the floss is Leo and Roxy hand-dyed. And then the pattern came with it. And so this is charted in those hand-dyed flosses. And because I came with it, I am using those. And I do have it off the Q-snap for the moment. Last night I was able to move the Q-snap, and because I wanted to show the whole piece of what I had done so far, it was easy to just go ahead and take it back off the Q-snap. Goodness, something's bugging my eye. I have not ironed anything. And here's where we're at. So I have those bottom 4 bands all done. So where I've started here is where it's going to say Black Cats. It's going to be another, there'll be a couple other more bands as you just saw. So we're getting there. This whole bottom portion that you see here is completely done. I am still really contemplating taking out that ampersand and restitching it over a couple more stitches, especially holding up like that. I do not like how that's right on top of that little doodad with all of this space right here. Stitches is in a playful mood today, that is for sure. So yeah, this is stitched on a piece of 16 count color and cotton in the colorway lentil. It's a vegetable name. I don't remember the color name. Lentil? Is that what it is? Seems like it's a vegetable name. I won this in a giveaway from their Facebook page, and I thought it worked out perfectly for this piece. And so back to the iPad. This is the piece that I had been using for my, turn it this way, 25/7. This is Mini Stitching Moon. Oops. Artwork by Amy Stewart. I was gonna get the name mixed up. Artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. And this is, like I said, this is the mini version. And here's where we are here. And like I said, so this was my 25/7 piece, and I am very happy with the progress that I made in that like 18 or 19 days, because this had just barely been started, and so it was really confetti. Got the moon done. This is actually working into the next page, which is page 12. So the main page over here is page 11, right about the moon area with all this yellow, started page 12. I am very much, when I work on full coverage pieces, I will pick a color symbol and like follow it as much as I can. And so that's kind of why we've got some bigger stuff. There's a whole patch of white in there that's all stitched in. I do need to get some more. I think it's the 3865. I'm just about out, so that's gonna be going over here more. It's like her dress or something that's a flowy top or something. So there's gonna be a huge patch of white still. So this is her, I think her arm reaching down. Shadow. And so it was just easy to pick a symbol because, again, trying to work on it in 25 minutes at a time, that I was trying to find a lot of symbols that had a lot of color, you know, a lot of stitches to it, rather than spending 25 minutes working on 10 stitches because I'm having to change colors every, you know, every other stitch. So, but yeah, I'm happy with where I got. This has definitely seen more love in the 19 days that I was working on it than it has all year. I forget now, I think it had like 20, it's either 20 or 24 pages. I don't remember how many the pattern has. And so, like I said, I'm working on page 11 and 12. I just use my iPad with a couple different apps for following for my pattern. I don't have Pattern Keeper, and so I just kind of go back and forth between the two pages working on those. So it's all rolled up, but I love these colors, especially like those pinks and reds against that blue background. So I love the piece. I just haven't always been drawn to stitch on it too much. So I mean, I guess that's kind of the whole point of the challenge, right? Is to work on a piece that, you know, you're not always drawn to. So put in a couple more days stitching on Mini Dark Goddess. This artwork is by Carol Cavallaris, again charted by Heaven and Earth. I love this piece. It's really not looking like a whole lot besides purple blobs, but that's okay. I know the flowers will come in later because right now I'm really just working on that background. And so I'm actually getting really close to finishing page 3. I've been going back, I'm starting to work into page 4 too, but this page is really getting close to finishing. And so I was somewhat doing a color completion where I would pick a symbol and could work through the rest of the entire page and again into the next page if it was easy to do so, just to, you know, work on filling in that color. So when I pick this back up again, I really want to get focusing on finishing that page. And then I've also dropped down a little bit into, I want to say that's page 8. So again, this is Mini Dark Goddess from Heaven and Earth, artwork by Carol Cavallaris, who sadly passed away, I think it was last year sometime. Maybe it was earlier this year. I don't remember. But yeah. So I'm definitely loving the full coverage pieces again. I seem to have kind of stepped away from working on full coverage for a while after focusing so much on my beloved eagles. And so I've been working on other stuff and then kind of getting back into some of the full coverage stuff and loving it. Another non-full coverage piece, Satsuma Street's Halloween Cat. This is such a fun piece. The Facebook group Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge had a little bit of a pop-up challenge last weekend that was called Oh My Gourd, and it was to work on anything with gourds or pumpkins. And so, of course, this has a couple of really brilliant pumpkins. I didn't work on the pumpkins themselves, but yeah. I know I didn't say, but both of the two full coverage pieces I just did or showed were 16 count white Aida full cross 2 strands. And so here we are with Halloween Cat. So since you saw it last, I got a lot of the moon filled in. Got this cloud doodad, whatever, over here, and then working that cloud down. Not cloud, that's the moon. Goodness, I can't talk. So this is stitched on a piece of 16 count B-Stitch Me in the color, let's see if I can say this, Michelle, Anemone. I did it. After the last time I showed this video and cracking up over the fact that I cannot say that word, Michelle Bendy lovingly sent me a voice message through Instagram saying the word, because I guess she had done a project on it or something, and so she, you know, back in school, and so she had figured out how to say the word. So because I was stumbling over how to say it, I was cracking up over the fact that she was helping me out so much, because I mean, even after that, just I still feel like I can just stumble over the word so easily. But anemone is the colorway. So, really pretty color. Like the weird kind of modeling and stuff, I think it's just going to add to the piece. So that has been a fun one. And that is all of the whips that I have to share. So that's all I've worked on in the past couple of weeks. Plans. I am actually doing some tiny bit of planning. I have decided to participate in 2022's Whip Go. So there's my board. You don't have to worry about trying to read it all. So Whip Go is like a bingo board, but whip as in W-I-P for works in progress. This was created by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. There's a Facebook group. She has explained it in detail on a video or two. I hadn't worked on it, you know, jumped in before because I'm not much of a planner, but I don't know, I just decided this year, kind of decided to work on it a little bit. So in the last 2 weeks, I've been working on putting together some goals, and so I've got all of my 3 full coverage pieces, so Mini Stitching Moon, Mini Dark Goddess, and Mini Midnight Messenger. Those are all on here twice. To stitch 2,500 stitches, and I put the goal for the month. So whenever it's called, I'd like to put that many stitches in. And then the rest of them I just filled in with maybe specific projects to work on for a week, or I put in like for the magazine challenge to work on a magazine piece or to start a magazine piece. I've got to stitch a small to start and finish one, so like the Quirky Quakers, or, you know, all kinds of different smalls that I can be able to put into my stitching journal. That would be good, you know, easy stuff to be able to have a start and a finish. Sometimes even, you know, like those Quirky Quakers can be stitched just right in a day, so I like to do that. There was a couple different pieces on here that I put in for a finish. One specific box, speaking of Michelle Bendy, I put in there any Bendy Stitchy finish, because I figured out that I've got like 3 or 4 pieces of hers on the go. Trimming the Tree, there's no reason why that piece is still hanging out. It is getting pretty close to finishing. I know it took me quite a while to work on actually stitching out the snowman, but he's almost done, so there's really no reason why that piece is taking me so long to finish. I don't remember what date I started it on, but it's been a while, so that one needs to be finished. I've got You're Okay. I crack over for that one all the time. You're okay, I guess. And then I've got Winter Witches. Yeah, Winter Witches. That was in a box last year that she should be releasing, I think, probably sometime this month. And then, yeah, I guess those are the 3 that I can think of that I've actually got started, that, especially the Trimming the Tree, can easily be a finish. So that was fun, coming up with all of those different ones. So we'll see, you know, how I stick with it. So, back to the 25/7. I'm thinking that I want to start working on Stone Street Stitchworks Bookhouse. I've got one tree and the house all done. So I've got one tree and the words. So I don't see why this shouldn't be an issue to be able to finish in a month. Working, you know, just 25 minutes a day. So that's where I'm at now. Yeah, I got that whole... Maybe I still have a few stitches. I'm just noticing that around this little book here that there's still some white that I'm not seeing that I would expect there to have been. Maybe there's not though. Love the colors in this piece. So it's going to be time to move the the hoop and get one more tree and then all of the words. So I'm thinking that I may start doing this now for my next 25/7. If I decide to get back to that. I'm kind of feeling like I want to do a new start today. And I'll show you here in just a minute. I am actually planning on a new start next week. But why not just start stitching all the things now, right? I showed this a couple of videos ago that I had got it all kitted together. It is Strong Women by Stu Hillis Designs. Love this piece. Women are like tea bags. We never know how strong we are until we're in hot water. And so yeah, I have it all kitted together, all of my floss. This is a Witchelt in Graceful Gray, I think it is. 16 count for the material. I figure that's going to set off all of those bubbles in the bath quite well, because I think the model is stitched on a piece of white Aida, and so it's like, no, let's get a piece of color in there. So I have stitched this one, the Cluttered Kitchen. I need to get this one for my stash. I have not got that one yet. Women are angels, and when someone breaks our wings, we simply continue to fly on our broomsticks. We're flexible like that. I love these designs. I love Sue Hillis stuff. I saw that she had announced that she has sold her company to Imaginating. So hopefully that's a good move for her to be able to enjoy life and everything. And hopefully new patterns are still coming out. I don't know exactly what all that means for her to have sold her business, but I love Imaginating patterns. I don't have anything handy at the moment, but you'll see on some of the patterns that, like Diane Arthur's is a big one that's published by Imaginating, which I love her designs. And I just realized I completely forgot to bring something over here. I'm not going to get it today though. So I'm thinking I want to start that. The other piece that I'm considering, I have not yet kitted together though. This was out of a magazine. It's a digital magazine called X Stitch. Right? Is that what it's called? X Stitch magazine. I love this piece. So it's by, I'm reading notes over here, Stitchspiration, called Let's Get Lost. And I love the colors in the piece. And it's really not that big. It's like 118 by 80 something. So it's really pretty DMC colors. So I'm kind of thinking of getting that kitted together and maybe starting that. We'll see. So a tiny bit of haul here, I guess you can call. Color and Cotton. I love their material. They have these things called grab bags. You can do grab bags of floss or material. A lot of times they sell out very quickly, but they have a notify me when available option that you can get, you can sign up for to be emailed. And so I jumped at the chance, like pretty much the minute I got the email that they were available for the material. So I got 2 packs. So they're like 8 by 12 pieces in some gorgeous colors. Oh, they were looking good right for a minute. About right there. This gray, I'm in love with this gray. So like I said, it's like an 8 by 12, perfect for stitching smalls, for my journal, you know, stitching journal or whatever. So I have no clue what counts and colors these are. That's not showing true. Kind of a peachy orange. And then we've got a gray, green, and a cream. Those are looking pretty true right there. So great options. This one is actually looking really tiny, so I'm thinking that's probably like a 20 count. You can sign up for either Aida, even weave. There might be linen, I don't remember. I don't usually look for those options. So you never know what counts you're gonna get. You never know what colors you're gonna get. Like, I don't even know the color names of these. You could take the chance of getting duplicates if you buy multiple packs, which I did, but as you can see, I didn't get any duplicates. These are going to be great for the stash. No idea what I'll stitch on any of these. So. And then one last thing of haul that did come in this week. Try to show it without dropping everything all over. But I got the Forbidden Fiber Yule Ball. I'm so excited for this. So when I said that I've got a new plan start next week, it's this. So lots of goodies. I'm not planning on doing any kind of a Flossmas type videos. Not the everyday stuff. Just, I don't know, not jumping on that just yet. But from the way I understand it is, and I'm thinking like item number 1 is going to be probably the material. There's a pattern. And it's going to be, and we know that the pattern is by Michelle Bendy. So another Michelle Bendy, Bendy stitch piece. I love her designs. She comes up with great stuff that is just kind of like right in a lot of my aesthetic that I love to stitch, I guess. So it's being released like color by color of the flosses. And so day 2 is going to be a pattern. I'm thinking maybe the floss is going to be in here as well. Just because of the way the packages are, you know, the daily packages. So I'm thinking this is going to be a floss and pattern. And then, so on the even days are all these envelopes. And then the odd days are different stuff, stitchy stuff, or, you know, notions or whatever. And so the paperwork that came with it makes it sound like you should be able to, like, you know, the day the pattern is released on day 2, you get the next piece of pattern on day 4, so you would have 2 days to stitch that newest release. So I'm hoping that I can get started on that and stick up, or, you know, keep sticking with the releases. I did this last year and I didn't stitch it as it was released. It was my first finish for the year this year, but I'd like to maybe try to actually stick with it this time around. So we'll see. So that starts next Wednesday, the 1st. So, just looking around, that's all I have to share in terms of stitchy stuff. So if you are all set on that kind of stuff, I greatly appreciate you sticking around. For anybody new or, you know, returning viewers, I really try to say this at the beginning, but I thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you for supporting my channel. Again, whether you're new or a returning viewer, subscriber, all that good stuff. So, real quick, I'll just mention the life stuff. I mentioned some stresses, that I faced this week. I'm still coming to terms with it. It is not the outcome that I was wanting, but it looks like I'm going to actually be needing another surgery. This year just has been one thing after another. It started with COVID, and then I had to have surgery, and then then I had complications, and then I spent a week in the hospital, and then there's just been complication after complication since July. It has been an ongoing situation since then. So I've been going to a wound clinic. They've been helping me try to get this. I had an incision that had an abscess, basically. That abscess then caused an issue that isn't healing. And so I had scans done 2 weeks ago that the doctor who scheduled the scans, I really don't think that's what this is, but let's rule it out kind of thing. And that's exactly what it ended up being, I guess, how I understand it. So they've got me scheduled to go to a surgeon, like for the, I'm assuming it's the consult. I've got that in a couple of weeks yet. So the notification that I received of the going to the surgeon's office, different surgeon that did my first surgery. So my hospital line, I guess you call it, company, uses this thing called My Chart. Many people may be familiar with it. And so it was through that notification that I knew about the appointment that they scheduled on my behalf with another surgeon. So it was very frustrating to learn that, oh, hey, you're going to need surgery, when I didn't even have a chance to get the results, you know, speak to the doctor about the results. This little girl. She has known that I've needed that attention this week, and she's been there right beside me all day, you know, most days. So it just was very frustrating to find out in that method. And I even said something to my next appointment, that's not how I should be finding out these results. You know, not even getting a chance to, you know, get a phone call or have the appointment the very next day to get those results that they're already scheduling me for stuff. So it was a stressful week, still a stressful time. I don't know yet when this is even going to be scheduled. Like I said, I've got that consult coming up in a couple weeks. So it's like, on one hand, do I want to have the surgery before the end of the year so that my, because my health insurance deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses have been met for the year. I can get it, you know, qualified, pretty much fully covered under that. But on the other hand, I'm about out of PTO. So it's like, do I take the chance of having unpaid days off because I'm out of vacation time to have the surgery this year? Or do I wait until after the first of the year and everything resets? So obviously that's going to be in the surgeon's hands. I don't know what their schedule is even going to be like. I don't even know the extent of how bad this is going to be, you know, in terms of recovery. All I've found online is that it's something that you have to be patient for the recovery period. And I'm already out of patience because it's been going on for 6 months. So it's like, I just keep telling myself, I know the surgery is going to be necessary because I gotta get back to whatever normal was beforehand, before all of this stuff. I gotta get back to, you know, being able to enjoy life again without having an open wound. I just was really hoping they could get me fixed up without having to have another surgery. So, so like I said, this one's been a pal. Most evenings when I sit down to stitch, she's curling up in my lap before I even have a chance to pick up a stitching project. So there's actually been some evenings that I just allowed her to curl up in my lap without even worrying about picking up the stitching because I didn't have the brain capacity for the evening to stitch anyways. So yeah. So that's going what I'm gut facing. So I'll try to maybe keep some updates posted. I can't promise anything for sure. If you want updates, like I said, it probably updates may be easiest for me to post on Instagram. So if you're not following me, check me out over at StitchingBee82. I can try to keep, you know, some updates there in terms of, you know, whatever. I don't know. But yeah. I think that's about it. I'm not sure anything else to share at the moment. So I hope everyone is staying safe and getting lots of stitching time in. Enjoy times with your friends and family as you can safely. I know this is a trying time for a lot of people this time of year, so, you know, stick through it. We'll make it through. The end of this year is just speeding at us like a freight train at the moment, I think. Parts of the year have, you know, slowly passed by, and then there's been other times that have just absolutely flown. Like, we're already nearing the end of November, and you know that December just flies by in a blink of an eye. So anyways, that's it for me this week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend of whenever you're watching this weekday. Best day that you have available to you, I guess is a good way to say it. And appreciate all your support and all that good stuff. Keep stitching, and we'll see you guys again next time. Take care.